Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to watch the latest summaries, and the story begins with Michael strolling by the sea, heading to the cinema, reminiscing about the first film he ever saw. It seems he had skipped college that day. He mentions that he likes to sit in the front rows to be close to the screen. After the movie, he encounters a woman tied up, who asks him, "Can you remove the cigarette stuck to my mouth?" She then asks his name, and he replies, "My name is Michael." He inquires why she is tied up, and she responds, "I tricked you. I'm not tied up at all." She introduces her brother Jack, but then the police rush in, forcing them to leave. Michael walks with Jack and Isabella, who comments to her brother. Michael seems very polite and respectful. Later, they go home, and Michael writes a letter to his mother saying, "I've made new friends here in France." At that moment, Jack and Isabella invite him for dinner at their place. Upon arrival, they introduce him to their mother, who expresses surprise at having a guest and mentions not preparing enough food. Isabella then says to Michael, "I want you to meet my father." They all sit together, and their father praises Michael, starting a conversation about the country. Their mother adds, "You honor us today, Michael. You can stay with us tonight." Isabella tells Michael, "You're a great philosopher. My father is impressed by your views," then leaves for bed. Later, Jack shows Michael the library and leads him to his sleeping area. Michael wakes up at midnight to go to the bathroom and, upon returning, sees Jack and his sister asleep naked next to each other. The next morning, Isabella wakes him up and notices he isn't dressed, prompting Jack to say, "You can live with us here since our parents are away, and we're alone." Michael writes another letter to his mother and returns to tell Jack and Isabella, "I see you as one person." Jack responds, "And you will become our third, like triplets." They then start betting on movies, with Isabella wearing unusual clothes and asking, "What is this movie?" The three begin to place bets. At one point, Michael loses a bet, and Jack encourages him to have a relationship with Isabella. Michael hesitates, but Jack insists, "No, we agreed. Go ahead with her." Isabella is pleased, and Michael engages with her while Jack watches. Later, Isabella prepares burnt food and invites them to eat, saying, "Imagine you're in a foreign country, and this is their food." Jack goes downstairs looking for something to eat, ultimately finding a single banana, which they all share. We then see them sitting in the bathtub together, discussing the Vietnam War and the inventor of the guitar, with Isabella saying to Michael, "We love you." Michael replies, "I don't like what's happening here. You do strange things with each other and want me to be like you." Jack reassures him, "You'll get used to it over time." They then head to the cinema, where Jack tells Michael, "We can't sit in the front. People like us sit in the back." Isabella expresses her desire to see Michael's home, and they go there. In his room, Isabella begins to cry. When Michael asks her what's wrong, she snaps, "Leave me alone and go away," and starts banging on the door. Interestingly, the author doesn't explain why she was crying. Later, Michael meets Jack, and at that moment, Isabella enters, saying, "I have a surprise for you in the living room." When they follow her, they find she has set up a tent for them. Jack remarks, "This tent is like the one we used to play in when we were kids." They all sleep inside it together. The next morning, Isabella and Jack's parents return from their trip and find the young people sleeping in the tent. The mother tells her husband, "We should quietly leave so we don't disturb them. They must be tired from the night." They exit and drive away. When the young people wake up, they smell gas and go outside to find protesters filling the street while the police chase them. The people are staging a revolution demanding freedom. This is where the film ends. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to encourage us to publish more videos.